Hola, buenos días.
Buenas tardes, buenas noches.
This is Barb.
And this is Estela.
And welcome to
Cafecito
and Crime. Hello, everyone. How are you doing today?
Oh, that was straight
That
into
was straight
it.
in. Yeah, that was straight in. No, I'm just kidding. We hope everyone is having a wonderful day.
Every day?
Every day of your life. Every day.
For the rest of it.
How's everything going? The weather is kind of crazy. It was hot, then it was cold. Y luego llovió.
It has not been cold.
Yeah, pues it's going to get cold tonight. Pues.
Yeah, pero pues that's tonight.
And right now it's a little bit chilly outside. It's not hot.
It's not chilly either.
Well, tampoco, but to us it's chilly. No. Pero luego el cambio de, you know what? My favorite thing is cuando cambian la pinche hora. Like, I love that shit.
Yep.
Because I'm like, you can finish it instead of you feeling like ya son las pinches 9 de la noche.
Yeah.
And it's like 6.
Yeah.
I love it. And I don't understand, but I think that we're one of the only people that still do that, no? Other places, they don't.
Are you talking about other countries?
Other countries, they don't.
I think Arizona doesn't change the hour.
Really?
If I'm not mistaken, I think.
Oh, I want to
Don't
live
quote
there.
me on that. Just check.
Oh, okay.
Maybe we can check if you want, but
The Arizonians, if they would like to tell us if you do change out the hour, that would be so cool because I do not like the hour change. And then I feel like luego you're like the day after it changes, andas tú apendejado, güey.
No, yeah, I'm like, why do I feel so like sleepy, lazy? I'm like,
I told you this too.
no, does an hour really
Make that big of a difference.
that much damage?
So, en la noche del domingo, I'm chilling. I'm like, and my husband's like, hey, dude, ya es tarde and you haven't gone to sleep because I'm early. I need to go to sleep at least at 9.
No, you need to go lay down.
I lay down, but sleep kind of like around 10ish, me estoy durmiendo. And it was already 1. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Damn.
I was like, why am I struggling to go to sleep? Pero porque me había levantado tarde.
Earlier
In the day. And so then I'm like, does that really make a difference? But yes, the next day on Monday it was horrible. Like, I know I'm not the only one because I saw it on TikTok. Everybody was talking about it.
Yeah.
That how everybody was having a hard time adjusting. That's so crazy for your
weird.
body to adjust to that, you know? But I mean, like you said, it doesn't hour really matter. But yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
Apparently it does. So where are we going today?
Now, for today's case, we are going to Kerhonkson, New York.
No, you didn't say Kerhonkson.
Kerhonk.
Like the honking?
Kerhonkson. Like Ker, K-E-R, and then like honk, and then son. Kerhonkson, New York.
Wow.
Say
I
it.
like that. No, I'm not going to.
Okay.
Because lo voy a decir mal.
Okay.
Kerhonkson,
Oh, there you go.
New York. So if you would like to come with us to Kerhonkson, New York, go ahead and grab your cafecitos.
And let's get started. The first fun, random, interesting fact is that Kerhonkson is home to the world's 3rd largest gnome called Noam Chomsky.
Bruh.
Noam Chomsky.
Noam Chomsky is the best fucking name ever. If you don't name your gnome Noam Chomsky, then you're crazy.
I think his name is Chomsky, but since he's a gnome, he's known as Noam
The Noam
Chomsky. Yeah.
Bruh, that's beautiful.
In 2007, when it first, appeared, it was the world's largest gnome, standing at 13 and a half feet. But since then, there are 2 others that have surpassed its size.
Ah, poop. But it was the first one.
In 2007.
Still.
Yeah.
Still. That's awesome.
You can visit Noam Chomsky.
Noam Chomsky.
Yes, at the Kelders farm in Kerhonkson. They also, of course...
Are these people German or something? Like, this is like, that's a lot of... Say that line again.
Kelder?
You said you
Kelders?
can visit the Noam Chomsky at the
Kelders farm in Kerhonkson.
It sounds like you're speaking another language.
They also offer like a variety of other activities that you can do at the farm, and all that stuff.
Like here when you go like
yes,
strawberry picking and stuff like that. Okay,
exactly.
Cool. You can actually go also sunflower picking.
Oh, okay.
And tulip picking one year I saw.
Oh, I know tulip, but I hadn't heard of sunflower.
Yeah.
And number 2, Kerhonkson is considered a hamlet, which is a rural human settlement smaller than a village without its own government. and it relies on larger towns for municipal services.
Órale.
Yeah. So in this case, Kerhonkson, the two towns it relies on are Rochester and
No.
Espérame.
No, hermana.
Hold on,
es
hold
que yo
on.
qué bueno que no me tocó este case a mí
Espérame.
porque yo ya hubiera valido verga.
Walworthing.
This is too much.
Walworthing.
The gnome.
But mostly
Mira pues. No, ¿ves? No. I'm glad I didn't have this case.
But mostly Rochester. Oh
my gosh.
Okay. So yeah.
Ya no digas nada, hermana.
Yeah,
Let's just move on to the
okay.
case. Yes.
Today we will be discussing the murder of Joey Martin.
Okay.
So Joseph Patrick Martin who was known as Joey, was born on November 12 of 1980 to his mom, Kathleen, and his dad, who I don't know the name of. He was the middle kid out of three. He had an older brother named William, who went by Bill, and a younger sister named Emily. But a tragedy struck the Martins when in the late 80s, the dad died in a roofing accident.
Oh, shit.
So it was obviously devastating. And in time, Kathleen did go on to remarry.
Okay. Pues estaba joven.
Yeah. Now, Joey was such...
Don't tell me. Don't fucking tell me. He was the light of everybody's life.
Yes. How did you know?
How did I know? Because
No. Truly, like... One of his aunts.
I always say that too. Whenever I'm doing my case, I'm like,
really,
no, for real.
Like people that know them do.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
And then you feel bad because you're like, I know that this sounds like they don't want to. I know that our listeners
like,
don't want to listen.
It up,
we're not making it up. This is what they say. Yeah.
Yes. His Aunt Carol said that he was a clown from the time he could walk.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Te digo?
He said that he was very high energy, not someone to sit still, and was always doing something. He was also such a sweetheart. And in school, he was a track star. He was popular. He had like a lot of friends. He made friends with everyone. Like he could talk to a wall. So that was pretty much Joey. And so this brings us to March 26, 1996, which was a Tuesday. So that morning, Bill noticed that Joey's bed hadn't been slept in. So when his 15-year-old little brother didn't get on the school bus, he wasn't yet worried about it. It wasn't until the following bus stop when one of Joey's best friends, Alex, got on the bus y no lo vio con él, then he found it really strange.
Yeah, because they were probably always together, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
You see, the night before at around 10:30, Joey came to Bill and asked him if he wanted to come along to hang out with Alex and Daniel, which were his close friends. And he told Bill that they were going to go drink some beers and smoke some weed, and they were going to wait for a comet that was going to be visible to the human eye that night. So
that's so cool.
So they were going to go, wait for that to see it. Yeah. So Bill le dijo que no because he had to study. So after that, Joey snuck out of the window.
Oh.
And obviously Bill had no idea that was going to be the last time that he saw his little brother.
Aww. How much were they in difference in age?
2 years.
Ay, estaban bien
so
close.
Bill was 15. I mean, Bill was 17 y luego Joey was 15.
Wow.
So
that's crazy.
Especially since Joey had like a big track meet later that day. So it was completely,
he wouldn't have missed it.
Never. It was so out of character for him. And so Bill asked Alex cuando lo vio en el bus que se subió, he was like, hey, where's Joey? And Alex told him that he didn't know because he hadn't shown up the night before to meet him and Daniel.
Oh, shoot. So then something happened to him between his house to go meet the guys, right?
Right.
Okay.
He said that he and Daniel, they were like, hey, we were waiting for him. He didn't show up. So we still went on and did what we had originally planned. So when Joey's mom, Kathleen, learned that he was not at school, she immediately called his friend's parents to see if anybody had seen him, but no one had.
Oh, my goodness.
According to Kathleen, when Joey was going to be late or spend the night somewhere else, he always called her.
Yeah.
He always made sure to call her. So the fact that no one had heard from him, como they were like, oh, fuck.
Started to worry.
It was definitely worrisome. Kathleen then contacted the police to file a missing persons report. And when the state police investigators interviewed Joey's parents, they learned that Joey had snuck out before and had stayed out overnight.
Okay.
And so their initial theory in learning this was that this time it was no different. that he had just run away and was out with some friends and that he was going to return when he was ready.
The police always do that. I'm not saying always, but most of the time, in a lot of the cases that we hear, I'm not saying always, please don't take that out of context. What I'm saying is like, most of the time they're like, oh, they're going to come back. You know, they just went with their friend or with the boyfriend or something. And they don't take it sometimes as serious as you wish they would, right?
Especially in the 90s.
Yeah, yeah.
I think more now we know, we're like more conscious of when they're like, oh, you're supposed to wait 24 hours. No, you're not.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Joey, like we were just saying, like, however, you know, Joey's family insisted that wasn't the case this time and that something was
just
wrong.
out of character for him.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, si se iba, como dijo la mamá ahorita que acabo de decir, if he was going to leave, he was like, hey, mom. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. The case then was assigned to New York State Police investigator Daniel Bien.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like Daniel Bien.
When Joey didn't return home the following day, the case grew in seriousness. I mean, for the family, it was already serious, but, you know, now the police were taking...
I can't imagine, like, if my son or my daughter would do something like that. Like, I literally would shit myself. Like, I'm not even lying. Like, I would not be able to function. When I
was working on the case, and, you know, and other cases that we've done, too, when, you know, a child goes missing and the parents are like, pasa el tiempo y no los encuentran. I'm like... How do you sleep at night as a parent? I'm like, I feel like I would be a zombie. Like, I feel like I would never sleep again.
No, I'm pretty sure that you don't sleep again and that I would probably be looking at them for them everywhere.
Forever.
Like, I would never be able to be like, oh, they're probably in that car.
Yeah.
You know, or they're standing over there or they're cold or something, you know, as a parent.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I'm thinking. Like, I would literally just... Me la pasaba cagada. Like, I'll just shit myself.
I don't know how you, and I'm sure that they don't, like, how do you eat? How do you sleep? How do you ever enjoy something ever again in your life if something happens to your kid?
Exactly. So I feel like a lot of the parents that we also talk about that they've had to deal with their deaths of their children, like, they should get a lot of recognition as well, because it's like, how in the world do you go on? Yeah. And a lot of the times we've even heard parents say, we cannot. It's just never the same. Of course,
I don't think it is ever the same, but, you know.
And you can't move on.
No. Yeah, I don't think you ever really do as a parent.
Yeah.
Bien spoke to Bill, the brother, who was the last person to see Joey as far as they knew. He told Bien about the exchange he had that night with Joey. Investigators initially believed that it was possible Bill had taken up Joey on his invite, and while they were out, maybe
he did something.
Yeah. They developed this theory based on Bill's possible jealousy toward Joey.
Oh.
It seemed that he might have been somewhat envious of Joey's popularity.
Oh, okay.
Like we just said, you know, he was 2 years older than his brother, but it was overshadowed by him. But Bill's story would be corroborated by Joey's friends. And you know, meaning that, hey, I didn't go. Like, yo me quedé en la casa. The next people to be brought in were Alex Barsky and Daniel Malik, which were Joey's friends.
Alex Barsky just sounds like somebody's name, like from a TV show.
Yeah.
Like from a TV show, like some like Boy Meets World or something.
Yes.
Alex Barsky.
His name's Alexander Barsky, but we'll call him Alex, Now, Joey and Daniel met when they were 4 or 5.
They were friends for a long time.
Since, I think, right before even they went to kindergarten.
Wow.
As they grew up, Daniel, you know, they became friends, and Daniel, who was a little bit bigger, like in stature, would look after Joey since he was like somewhat smaller.
Oh, okay.
And at some point, Alex ended up coming in and joined the group, and, you know, they were always together, los tres. They even built a fort in the woods, along with some others, using like Stockdale fencing, sheet metal, metal pipes, and a blue tarp, where they met up to hang out, like a lot of them would.
That could never happen now, dude. Like now in this day and age, that would never happen.
Because I remember when we were growing up, we were like, everybody wanted like a clubhouse.
Everybody wanted a clubhouse,
like a little clubhouse, and go with the neighborhood kids, like unos pinches pedazos de madera that you found y a huevo, like it wasn't even anything.
But you thought you were sitting there inside of something, you know, but we could never do that now.
So that's where they were supposed to meet up on the night of the 25th. It was at the site of the fort in the woods.
To go see the comet. Because te imaginas cómo se han de ver las stars ahí? Like, imagine the most beautiful thing and then just seeing like a comet.
That's already visible to the naked eye.
Yeah.
When interviewed by investigator Bien, both teens' story were the same. Like, both of their stories was the same. They stated that they were all three supposed to meet up at the intersection of Schwabe Turnpike and Sampsonville Road. But again, Joey never showed. And they continued with their plans without Joey. So as police went around town asking locals if they had seen Joey, Daniel's and Alex's stories were corroborated by witnesses who said that they had only seen 2 boys, not 3, on the road that Monday night. And apparently, as they were walking on the side of the road when vehicles approached, say, like they would like, se hacían palao de las woods, like inside. I guess para que no los atropellaran or something. This meant that whatever happened to Joey, as you said, happened between his home and the Schwabe Turnpike and Sampsonville Road intersection. Therefore, this was the area investigators focused on next. Joey would have walked down Sampsonville Road, which was about a mile and a half of wooded road. Era pura wood.
Shit.
An initial theory was that Joey hitchhiked because he was already running late since his mom took longer to fall asleep than he expected.
Oh, okay.
And whoever ended up giving him a ride must have done something to him. Mm-hmm. So with this theory in mind, a search of the area was launched, and it wasn't long before police found their first possible clue in the case. It was a broken glass from a headlight.
Okay.
Hair fibers were recovered from it and were sent out for testing.
Oh, maybe they hit him.
Was Joey possibly run over since Sampsonville Road?
Pues no había nada. It was dark.
Yeah, it was dark. If someone was walking along the side of it, they would have not been seen. That theory went out the window when the results revealed that hair that were recovered from the headlight belonged to a raccoon.
Ah, shit. Fucking raccoon.
Joey's family and friends led their own search party in the woods near Joey's house in hopes of finding any clue that pointed to his whereabouts.
Yeah.
Missing person flyers were posted everywhere. Half of the town became involved. The community truly came together in efforts to find Joey.
And it wasn't a big town, right?
It was
small.
a hamlet.
Yeah. So, sí. So then basically they could have probably got a lot of help from everyone there. You know?
And then
the sheriff and all of that.
And the neighboring towns, how I told you, it's part of like Rochester and Walworthing.
Like the bigger ones.
Yeah.
The Walworthing.
But the days passed with no leads.
No.
That wasn't until police learned about a close family member with whom Joey might have had some turmoil.
Oh, really? Not his brother, though.
In digging further into Joey, police learned of the shaky relationship he had with his stepfather, Lance Lightstone. You see, Kathleen remarried Lance 7 years earlier, who had been a family friend.
Oh.
It created tension in the family since the kids didn't want to accept Lance in their lives, especially not Joey. So as the years passed and, he became a teenager.
Because if he was 7 years old.
7 years
prior.
So he must have been like 8.
8.
Yeah.
And then he had to, ya sabía that he didn't want him to be in his life.
Yeah.
At 8. Imagine like at 15 when you're
like,
acting a fool and trying to go and smoke weed.
And think that you know everything.
Yeah, exactly.
So as the years passed, their relationship improved somewhat, but like they would still butt heads, and they would get into like arguments and such. But that wasn't uncommon, especially for a teenager. Mm-hmm. But what they found interesting was that on the night that Joey snuck out of the house and disappeared, Lance wasn't home.
Oh, okay. Where were you, Lance?
So this is 8 days into the investigation, and Lance becomes the first person of interest in the case. During the interview with investigators, Lance was asked about his whereabouts on Monday, March 25th, and he stated that he had driven to Manhattan, which was 2 hours away, for business. So Lance did have a business with his dad in the city and drove there every week. He'd drive in on Monday, where he had his own apartment, y ahí se quedaba, and then returned home on Thursday night.
Okay.
The thing is, the week Joey again went missing, Lance returned home on Tuesday.
So he was home when he
returned home on Tuesday. Joey disappeared Monday night.
Ah, okay.
And usually every other week he would leave. El señor Lance would leave on Monday y no regresaba hasta el jueves.
So, ¿por qué regresó tan rápido?
Exactly. So he was asked specific details of that day.
¿Dónde estabas?
Down to the minute. They were like, hey, at what time did you leave your house? At what time did you get to the city? At what time did you leave the city?
You can't be like, I was there from like 3:30. No, they want to know 3:30, 3:5. Like, they need to know all of that. Yeah.
To the minute.
To the minute.
Yeah. Investigators let him know that if he wanted, you had the opportunity if you wanted to do anything to him. Lance became very defensive. And
anybody that's guilty becomes defensive.
But was he upset due to being considered
Yeah.
a suspect in his stepson's disappearance, or was it due to like a guilty conscience?
Mm-hmm.
The word that Lance was considered a person of interest in Joey's disappearance spread through the small town, and it literally tested the family.
Really?
Yeah. He was being scrutinized by the town and singled out in public. Cuando salían, like they would point to him and they were saying like he killed Joey.
Damn.
Like out in Publix. Out in the Publix.
Not in the Publix.
Out in the Publix.
Wow.
There was a point where even Kathleen doubted Lance when he told her that he didn't do anything to her child.
Dude, también, like she probably just was
No dormido.
She's tired, like, you know, she's looking for, she wants her son back, you know,
Yeah.
so I don't blame her, honestly.
No, and she didn't want to believe it, but investigators showed her statistics indicating that in cases like this, it is always someone close to the victim. Mm-hmm. In this case, Lance, who had the opportunity to do it, he could have easily driven from the city back home, taken him, and done something to him.
How far is the city?
2 hours.
2. Yeah, he could have easily. Y luego más en la noche que nadie lo iba a ver because it was in the
dark.
But at the same time, how did he know that he was going to escape his house?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was hard not to think that he could have been involved.
Yeah.
So investigators continued to dig into Lance's whereabouts. When they obtained his phone records, they showed that he had made a couple of calls from an apartment in New York at the time that Joey went missing. One at 10:30 and the other at around 11 p.m.
There was no way for him to come out.
He was literally in New York
Yeah.
at the time that he would have gone missing. So then Lance was cleared of any suspicion. Mm-hmm. Back at square one, investigators searched their databases for suspects, specifically those who were interested in teenage boys.
I know.
They checked the sex offender registry, and there was a sex offender in the area who matched their criteria. He was brought in for an interview, but was quickly determined to have not been involved.
Okay.
11 days after Joey's disappearance, investigator Bien went back to the forest to take another look around the makeshift fort Joey and his friends had built in hopes of finding any sort of clue. In it, there were like discarded beer bottles and like other trash que dejan when they would go and hang out, but nothing like that really pointed anywhere. But then investigator Bien, then, you know, he was thinking to himself, he was like, how did these kids get their hands on beer?
Yeah, who would buy it for them? Because they're 15, no?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe they were taking it from their house. I don't know.
From people who knew Joey, he learned that Joey and his friends would get beer from a neighbor, 18-year-old Christopher Brown.
But what? It wasn't the limit 21?
Christopher was known as a drug addict who had a criminal record. And when they tried to locate him to bring him in for questioning, he was missing.
Okay.
Through an anonymous tip, they were able to track him down in Florida. Christopher had stolen a U-Haul van
Órale.
and had left town right after Joey went missing.
So he said bye in the U-Haul.
Don't you have to be like a certain age?
Yeah, you have to have a credit card, no?
I don't know. I've never rented a U-Haul.
Yeah.
Pero don't you have to have like 25 or that's just to rent a car?
I don't know, honestly, but I know you're right. I have never, my husband's rented a U-Haul. I have never rented one, so I have no idea.
Pero maybe he just went up there and se la robó.
I just ride.
You just passenger princess.
I'm just there for the vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a plausible suspect.
I mean, yeah. But at 18, if he was a drug addict or whatever he was, and
he had a criminal record.
Yeah, so if he was the one giving them the weed and stuff, maybe he could have gotten mad at them for some reason and done something to him. If he was on his way over to smoke weed, I don't know. Maybe he was like, "Oh, I'll get the weed for you guys." I don't know.
There were a couple of possibilities involving Christopher and Joey's disappearance. The first was that somehow Joey went to Florida with Christopher.
Okay.
However, the Martin family immediately discarded it. They knew Joey, and leaving the state was not something that he would have done without, again, notifying a family member. Not only that, but if he had left with Christopher, he didn't take his wallet.
No, he needed his mannies.
He had $30 in it. And that's
a lot.
Back in 1996 to a 15-year-old?
Yeah, that's a lot
of money.
Yeah, you can buy a lot of now-laters with that.
And then unos chicles.
Unos chicles, güey. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Y it was like towards the end of March, pero como que todavía estaba frescón, ¿verdad? Afuera.
Well, yeah, because they're in New York.
Yeah,
they
exactly.
have like normal weather.
Seasons,
yeah.
And And then su mom was like, he didn't even take his favorite jacket. There's a specific jacket que de ahí no salía.
No, tú tienes que ponerte la misma hoodie de siempre.
Yeah.
No hay otra.
Especially a kid, a teenager.
Yeah. And it could be toda stinky and shit, pero así se la
Huele a
ponen.
sobacos
and pinches rotten eggs, pero ellos la traen puesta.
So it didn't add up.
Yeah. Que él se haya ido, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Me personally, I don't know Joey. I don't know his mom. Pero I think that I don't think he would have gone.
Yeah. The second was that Joey was taken by Christopher against his will.
That could be, yeah.
A few days later, the van Christopher had stolen was spotted in New York.
What the fuck?
Just 22 miles north of Kerhonkson in nearby Kingston, New York.
That's fucking far. Because we're talking about Florida.
From New York to
Florida and then back to... Damn, that's crazy.
The person who called in the sighting to the state police stated that they saw the U-Haul at a gas station being filled up by someone.
Ay, no, y le echaba gas el compa.
And that there was a blonde boy there too.
Okay.
The state police rushed to Kingston. By the time they arrived, the local police had already seized the U-Haul and arrested Christopher on drug charges.
No, we're not going to take chances. We're going to take him in.
During his questioning, the focus turned to Joey's disappearance, asking whether he had seen Joey or if he had been with him in the U-Haul. According to Christopher, he hadn't seen Joey. He had no idea where he was, and he had nothing to do with his disappearance.
Mm-hmm.
Despite Christopher's denial of involvement, the U-Haul van was, of course, still processed. Hair fibers were found inside and were able to be sent for testing. When the results came back, much like before, they showed that they did not belong to Joey.
Otro raccoon?
No. There's just somebody else. There was no trace of Joey in that van, and so another possible suspect was cleared. 6 weeks after Joey's disappearance, there were still no leads. In their continued efforts, the investigators expanded their search and began to interview students from other schools. Many of them who knew Joey from like track competitions throughout the school year.
Yeah, porque los huercos se conocen, girl.
Sí, especially in the small towns.
In the small towns se conocen. So
y especialmente él, que era bien amigable. It was during these interviews that investigators learned of Joey being painted in a different light.
Oh, shit.
Different from what his family knew of him.
But his aunt said.
That he was a clown?
That he was a clown.
There was a rumor going around that Joey had sold bad weed or bad acid to other kids at school.
Oh, he was a drug dealer.
And because of it, he was killed.
Oh, shit.
Apparently.
Not the bad acid. What the fuck?
I've never heard of bad acid.
Me neither. I think all acid is bad. No, I'm just saying.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not a.
Pero that's what the kids were saying.
Pues sí, pues. Pero I'm just saying, like, I've just never heard of bad acid. Like, I think acid is just bad in general. Pero that's just me personally.
Apparently, shortly after Joey disappeared, a witness overheard two boys at a party say that they had killed Joey as payback for getting sold bad drugs.
I mean, I've heard
of getting beat up.
Yeah, but killed? Not only that, but I mean, bad acid? Like, what did they do? Like, his acid didn't work, or maybe it was a different kind of acid? Like,
Se venció?
Yeah, like, se venció. Estaba echado a perder, you know? Like, I need to know this information.
As payback, Joey was kidnapped, taken into the woods, stripped, handcuffed to a tree, shot in the kneecaps, and left to die.
Yo, that can't be, because where is he? They've been looking for him, no? Ahí in the wooded area?
And so this wooded area where Joey was supposedly taken to and killed was searched, but there were no signs of anyone being handcuffed to a tree and or shot.
In the kneecaps.
Or nothing of the sort of what the rumors were saying.
If that's the case, and lo dejaron ahí tirado, so there has to be at least something,
amarrado,
blood, algo, you know?
But there was nothing in that area.
But it does kind of give you a little bit of a question of, okay, so who are they looking at now? Because before they were looking at someone that was kind of like in a different light. Now you're like, okay, so was he in some other situations that we need to look into?
His family
didn't know, yeah.
So here they were again, back at square one. They have literally nothing to go on. Nothing. Mm-mm. Though time passed, Joey's family refused to give up. They continued searching, posting more flyers. They put up a reward and speaking to the press. Joey's information and picture were also sent to the Center of Missing and Exploited Children. Since this case was all over the national news, investigators were now receiving leads from all over the country. They followed each and every one, even if they were just rumors. So, for example, they received a tip of a sighting of Joey in Brooklyn selling weed on a street corner.
Okay.
The state police went to Brooklyn to follow up on this lead, but it didn't lead anywhere. There was another report that he had been seen in Canada as well. That too didn't go anywhere. So these were the type of leads that they needed to follow up on, even though they seemed like
they were like
it couldn't be.
That couldn't be real.
Yeah,
but
they were like, no, we have to.
Yeah,
like,
they didn't have much of a
anything else.
It's not that they didn't have a choice, but they didn't have anything.
Yeah,
they needed to get whatever they could and roll with it.
Yes. On the first anniversary of Joey's disappearance.
Damn, ya pasó un año?
Sí.
Damn.
His family held a vigil. And the turnout from his classmates, school, and just people who knew him was like incredible. You could tell that nobody had forgotten about Joey. And that he was no longer here. Everyone was determined to keep his case at the forefront. But Joey's case went cold.
Damn it.
And it was not until August of 1997 that the next possible lead in Joey's case presented itself. So on the morning of, it's either August 5th or August 6th, por ahí. In 1997, 61-year-old George Allison walked out of his home in the town of Rochester and saw an armed person near his car, and it was a Subaru.
The fuck?
He yelled at this person to get away from his car, and without any warning, he was then shot twice.
Shit! What the fuck?
Like nothing. Usually when you're like, hey...
Corres, güey, or whatever. No, he got shot?
He got shot, yes.
The fuck?
The perpetrator then stole George's car. And tragically, George Allison died from his injuries.
Oh my goodness. Just from standing outside his house, dude.
Telling somebody to get away from his car. He literally walked out of his home and saw somebody trying to take his car.
Se levantó el compa. He was getting his coffee. He walked out. Oh, hay alguien ahí. Déjame ver.
Like,
Salió.
Hey, get away from my car.
Mi carro. Boom. And you're done.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
He got shot twice. When police arrived at the scene, they learned that there were no eyewitnesses to the murder, but there was some evidence left behind. They were able to recover two 30-06 shell casings, which belonged to a rifle.
Okay.
Why are you shooting people with a rifle?
Girl.
2 days later.
And where did he get shot is my question.
2 days later, an NY state trooper spotted George's stolen car at a home in Seaford, Long Island. So police staked out the home, and after a foot chase, the suspect was apprehended and placed under arrest.
Hasta eso corrió el compa?
I don't know why you always think that you're going to get away on foot.
I don't know. Honestly, it mind boggles me. Like, where are you going to go? Where are you going?
They're like, we got to try.
I mean, yeah, if that makes, you're just going to get tired. Maybe they're like.
You're just making it worse.
I just feel like maybe they're like, let me just get these cops tired. Nada más por chingar,
Yeah.
Because.
Para llevar la contraria.
Yeah, como pa joder.
Yeah.
They're going to get tired, but they're going to catch me, but I'm going to get them tired.
Yeah.
I'm
going to make them work for
me. I'm going to make
them
run after me. Like, what the fuck?
So a rifle was recovered from the vehicle, and it was a 30-06 también. It was an exact match to the casings that were found at the scene of George's murder.
So you're just going to go to someone's house in the middle of the day.
Shoot them with a rifle.
Shoot them. No, wait. You're going to stand outside their car, take their car, shoot them because they told you not to take their car.
But you shoot them first, and then you take the car.
And then you take the car, and then you drive to your home?
To a friend's house.
What the Okay.
Now, the suspect arrested was 17-year-old.
17.
Daniel Malik.
What?
One of Joey's best friends.
Yeah. Because it was Alex.
And Daniel.
Right?
During his interview, he didn't deny anything and confessed to shooting and killing George Allison.
The fuck?
Was
he on drugs?
When asked as to why he had done so, he said he needed a car.
Oh. Was he on bad acid?
Bitch, I could use some money, but you don't see me, fucking robbing a bank.
I do need a new car myself, and I'm not going to go out there and be like, let me go shoot this person that lives up here in the front, and I'm going to take their car.
Go to an agency, una agencia.
The fuck is wrong with these kids now? And well, that was back in 97. 17. And killed somebody. Okay.
Because he needed a car.
No, the man didn't do nothing to you, dude. Okay. Just make sure.
Nothing.
Okay.
Anyway, here we are, a close friend of Joey's who admitted to killing a man in broad daylight. Investigators thought, well, could he have been involved in what happened to Joey 17 months prior?
Yeah, because whenever they questioned them, they both had the same story.
Yeah.
The friend.
Because they were together.
They were together.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it wasn't like awkward or anything that they, that they would have been like, oh, something's weird.
Yeah.
They were like, yeah, we were together, whatever it is.
So investigators pressed Daniel about Joey and his original story from March of 1996. He maintained what he had stated initially, which again, that they were supposed to meet up, but he just never showed up. Mm-hmm. And he denied having anything to do with his disappearance.
Mm-hmm. But that's kind of what people say whenever they've done something.
Like nobody outright
is like, yeah, I did it.
You know what? Yes.
Yeah, it was me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This created in town like a lot of buzz.
Yeah.
And it brought Joey's, not that anybody hadn't forgotten, nobody had forgotten about Joey, but it just brought it back to like, what is going on?
And where's his parents?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
His parents, are they living in the town too? Like, are they listening to this shit?
In George Allison's murder, Daniel was convicted of second-degree murder and sentenced to 20 years to life in prison. Wow.
Because he needed a car. ¿Pa dónde ibas? Where were you going?
Take the bus.
Why were you... Walk, motherfucker?
Take the bus. Now, I don't know. He was at a friend's house in Long Island. That's lo encontraron in Seaford. But I don't know how far Seaford.
I don't know. You're asking the wrong one. I can't speak English. No, my deal is, ¿pa qué quieres el carro? Where are you going?
Maybe you need to go grocery shopping. I don't know.
They don't even have an H-E-B over there.
As the years pass, different detectives were assigned to Joey's case, They do their due diligence and continue to follow up on leads from across the country that would still randomly being called in. But they all just never yielded any results. And it wasn't until 2007 that a new investigator is assigned to Joey's case, Peter Sirigliano.
Oh, pensé que ibas a decir Cirilo.
Who would crack the case wide open.
Stop. Not crack the case.
Sirigliano, in reviewing Joey's case, believed that Joey was no longer alive.
Oh.
It was the one thing that his family refused to believe, that he was no longer here. Mm-hmm. But Sirigliano was like, dude, he didn't say dude, obviously, but he was like, there just hasn't been any
movement of
any
him.
activity on his social security number or anything of that sort.
Like sightings, but not like actual confirmed sightings of him or anything.
Right.
Yeah. And once that happens, I mean...
Especially with the time that had already passed. Like,
that
to
was
this
like,
point, like
almost
11
2 years?
years.
11
It
years?
was 2007.
Oh, I thought you said 1997.
No. 1997 es cuando aquí él mató a George Allison.
Oh, okay. Pero luego pasaron 11 years.
1996 to 2007, sí son 11 años. Yeah. So he just needed to prove, like, hey, like, he's dead,
yeah.
Sirigliano went back and reviewed the original statements given by the people closest to Joey right after his disappearance.
Which was like his
brother,
his stepdad, his two friends. Yeah, okay. His mom.
Hoping to find something that had been overlooked all of these years,
That's a good way to do it. Like, start at the beginning.
And always, I feel like you should always start at the beginning and then obviously get a fresh pair of, eyes on
I'm telling you, I would be the perfect one to go back and just read cases. Let me have them.
But just take your medicine first.
Yeah, no. Take my medicine, obviously. But I'm just saying, like, I would be good at that because I would be like, I'm going to go page by page, line by line, like
letter by letter,
meticulously going through it because I feel like a lot of people, obviously, there's a lot of jurisdictions and all of that stuff that happen when something first happens. But 11 years, 15 years later, things change.
Again, back in 1996, Bill, Joey's brother, told investigator Bien that Joey climbed out of the window like around 10:30. Daniel and Alex said that they waited for him at this Schwabe Turnpike until 11. Mm-hmm. That all lines up, right?
Yeah, because it's about 30 minutes away.
It was like a mile and a half.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But something caught Sirigliano's attention in Alex's transcript of his statement. In it, he said that he went home and immediately went to bed.
Alex, yes. The one from Boy Meets World. That I said he sounded like...
Barsky. And Sirigliano thought that the word immediately was odd because it wouldn't be regularly said. He said people would say, I went home and went to bed. Not I went home and immediately went to bed.
Oh, I can see that.
Yeah. Because when if you're like, I got home, I went home and then I went to sleep.
Yeah.
I went home and immediately went to sleep.
Yeah. I just quickly went to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
In Daniel's statement transcript, he found something that jumped out as well. It said, quote, we were all on foot. If it were just him and Alex, Why would he say we were all on foot and not we were on foot, right? Based on these two very small, obviously, words that were just...
That's not small. Not in cases like this. It's like any small thing. Or,
based on these two small findings in their depositions, Sirigliano thought something was off and that they were not being truthful about what happened that night in 1996.
Especially when this other motherfucker just went and shot up somebody and killed them. Yeah. Like, something's not right with this guy.
So he needed to speak to them again.
Oh. Pues uno está en jail.
Since Daniel Malik was in prison, he decided to re-interview Alex first.
Yeah.
At this point, it's May 2008, and Alex is living in Brooklyn.
Okay.
And he agreed to meet Sirigliano, who traveled there for the interview. Mm-hmm. Sirigliano and his partner, James Charlones.
Not the Chones.
Both conducted the interview. They began by pulling out pictures of Joey and laying them out across the table. To this, Alex said, "He's still missing, right?" And Sirigliano said, "No, he's dead." They asked him to recount the events of the night of March 25th, 1996, and he repeated the same story he had, 12 years prior.
He went, sat there with his friend, They went to go, he immediately went to bed.
Yeah. Sirigliano then told Alex that if he took a polygraph test and passed it, he would be good to go and that he would never hear from them again. So Alex agreed. After the test was administered, the polygraph examiner told investigators that Alex had failed it. Mm-hmm. Sirigliano went to Alex and asked him what happened, And Alex, he said, I don't know.
¿Qué pedo, güey?
Yeah. He was like, I thought you were good.
I thought you were good, bro.
Yeah. He was like, What's happened? He's like, I don't know.
What do you don't know?
Sirigliano and Charlones felt confident that Alex wasn't telling them the truth about what he knew happened to Joey, so they continued to press him. Every time they felt that he was about to give them something, he asked to use the restroom.
Okay.
And it took a long while, as it sometimes does, to finally get back to the place where Alex seemed on the edge of saying, or saying
I'd be like,
something.
No, you can't go piss. Hágase aquí.
Sirigliano and Charlones began to remind Alex about the Martins, who have been waiting 12 years to find out what happened to their loved one.
Not only that, Joey. But this was your friend, and you knew these people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
they have been holding on to hope, and the family needed closure. Mm-hmm. For 13 hours.
Yeah.
Pues no wonder se paraba a miar a cada rato.
No te vas a miar aquí paradito, hermano. And that's, once again, that's why I'm not an investigator, because no, dime la verdad. Méate aquí, let me see.
But that's the thing, like, he could leave whenever he wants. He's not under arrest.
I don't give a fuck. I would be like,
Pero él no sabe, pues.
Sick.
For 13 hours, they tried to get Alex to tell them what he knew. And at his breaking point, he said to investigators, "What if I can't get you the body?" Surprised that he made such a statement, they kept on pressing him just a little bit more lightly because they didn't want him to backtrack, for him to climb up. So then he said he got hit with a piece of steel.
Oh, interesting.
So this is what happened on March 25th of 1996.
He said this.
Alex, yes.
So at this point, he's like, okay,
this is what happened. Yeah,
this is what happened.
He said that in the interview. Okay. Early in the afternoon of March 25th, Alex and Daniel met with Christopher Brown, who got them 2 12-packs of beer to drink later that night and some weed.
The guy that was in the U-Haul truck?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
At night, Joey did meet them at the Schwabe Turnpike stop.
Y sí llegó.
Yeah. And they all walked along the trails into the woods to the fort. They arrived there at around 11 p.m. After arriving, they began drinking beer, smoking weed, and waiting for the comet. Now, I have found conflicting reports as to why Joey was crouched down or bent down. Some said that he bent down to block the wind so he could light up, while others said that Alex asked him que le pasara una cerveza.
Oh, okay.
But either way, he was bent down or crouched down mirando para abajo when Daniel came from behind him and hit him in the back of the head with a 2-foot-long metal pipe.
Why?
Joey fell to the ground, face up. Daniel hit him again on the side of his head with strong force before passing the pipe to Alex, who proceeded to strike Joey approximately 2 more times.
I thought that... Okay.
They then wrapped Joey's body in a dirty comforter, placed him in a wheelbarrow, and hid the body under a rock in the woods about 100 yards away. Afterward, they left the woods and went back to an open quarry near Daniel's house, which is just like a large excavated space.
I was about to say an open quarry. Calmate, do you know I don't know any of these big words, girl?
There, they continued drinking and discussing what they would do next and agreed that if anyone asked, they would say that Joey never showed up, which is exactly what they did. Now, the motive, the as to why.
Yeah. Like, I'm so confused right now.
According to Alex, Joey was murdered because he had stolen money and weed from him during the 6 months prior to his murder.
Wow. Okay. So if that's the case, so let's go back to, it's crazy to me. So the leads that were coming in no andaban tan perdidas.
No.
No andaban tan perdidas because...
Ya exageraron when they're like, lo amarraron a tree,
and they shot him in the kneecaps
and shit.
Pero they weren't that far off.
Yeah.
Right? And then not only that, but remember, they had said, the leads also said that he was with the guy that went to Florida in the U-Haul. But that day they did meet up with him, but they just got the beer and stuff from him. But
Joey wasn't there.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Pero he was still involved in that day.
Yes,
you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like,
they got beer.
Yeah,
so,
no andaban tan perdidas.
No.
Wow, that's crazy. So le debía dinero.
Le robó. Según dice el que le robó dinero y le robó weed.
So then Alex is the one that hit him first. Daniel hit him first. So why was Daniel pissed si a él no le robó el dinero? Nada más.
Por andar de maliento.
También. And so then le pegó. And then el otro was like, okay, yeah, I'll hit him too.
Your turn. Yeah.
The fuck this is crazy.
Sirigliano and Charlones convinced Alex to let them take them, to
see if they can find a body,
to the scene and show them how and where it happened. So they walked into the woods where Alex was trying to locate the rock where they had hit Joey's body under. But he seemed like a little bit lost because some of the trees had been cleared for development. Of course, it had been 12 years, as
obviously,
it happens.
Yeah.
Which was why he was thrown off. But he managed to eventually find the rock. And sure enough, as they came up to it, there was, ahí estaba la dirty comforter.
Wow.
But that was the only thing that was there. There weren't any remains.
What? Se levantó, qué vergas.
Alex proceeded to tell investigators that 6 years prior to 2008, so around 2002, he came back to the same spot in the winter of 2002 from Brooklyn, gathered Joey's bones, stuffed them in plastic bags, and took a cab back to Brooklyn.
Not in the cab.
He asked the cab driver to stop at random trash dumpsters where he disposed of Joey's remains at various locations.
Wow.
But before he did that, in September of 2002, Alex and Daniel se hablaron. Esto lo tuve que hablar en la cárcel, yo
Obviamente, porque el otro está allá porque andaba matando gente.
Yeah. And it was Daniel who suggested that Alex return to remove the remains. And at the time, Alex, he was like, hey, why are we talking about that? Don't worry about it. Pero no sé si al último, he was like, fuck. Como
he's right.
Espantó.
Yeah,
He's right. And he went and he did it.
Wow. Yo dije, se levantó.
Sirigliano asked him if he had taken all the bones. And Alex said yes. Joey's case obviously was now considered a homicide.
Yeah.
And it was assigned to Chief Assistant District Attorney John Tobin. Now, obviously, the investigation was open now for a homicide, so forensic investigators arrived at the scene and carefully examined it. They were able to uncover tooth and bone fragments embedded in the soil.
De donde cuando le pegaron, me imagino.
When dejaron la body y pues ahí quedó aplastado el muchacho, No. Those fragments were sent out for testing against Kathleen's DNA sample. And they came back as a match to Joey Martin.
Wow.
So Alex Barsky was arrested and charged with second-degree murder, and he was held at the Ulster County Jail without bail. Now, in regard to Daniel...
¿Y el otro qué chingados?
In regard to Daniel,
okay.
The thing was that there was nothing linking him to the Joey's murder. It was just Alex's word against his.
Yeah, there wasn't a murder weapon.
There wasn't a body.
They
were just, his body was there, but,
That's true, though. There's nothing that you could say, there's a print or something like that. You're right, yeah.
And so investigators needed something that would tie him to it. During the investigation into his involvement, the DA's office was able to locate an inmate at the Ulster County Jail to whom Daniel had bragged about killing Joey.
Or what about
detail?
What about the phone call también? They could have had the phone call where he's telling him, hey, you should go pick up the body or something.
That was 6 years prior.
Oh, well, sure. So somebody said that he
confessed to them.
Dude, those fucking inmates, they be singing like little birds, bitch.
It's because they're trying to look hard.
They be just talking about everything like, pa que no me metan.
Bro, that's an informant. You're probably talking to an informant y tú ni cuenta.
Dude, every time.
You think you're looking all hard and shit, bitch.
Hard, and then, or that they're your friend. No, they're not. No, because I bet you anything, they'll offer them something and they're gonna sing like little birds. Yeah. Damn, that's crazy. Pero bueno, qué bueno que hagan eso because at least they get information, right?
So not only that, but Alex, months later, took a plea deal. Mm-hmm. He pleaded guilty to the lesser charge of manslaughter, admitting that he only wanted to harm Joey and not kill him in exchange for his testimony against Daniel.
Okay, but you wanted to harm him, but you...
Well, that's what you were supposed to say, to plead guilty to manslaughter and not second degree.
Got it.
At his sentencing, Alex apologized to the Martin family. He said, quote, if there was one night in my whole life that I could take back, I would absolutely undo that night.
That doesn't do shit for me.
Ulster County Judge J. Michael Brunn sentenced Alex Barsky to 3 to 10 years in prison, the maximum allowed for a juvenile at the time of the crime.
Wow.
Because he was 15.
Oh, my God.
Now, Daniel Malik was then charged with second-degree murder in Joey's case. He pleaded not guilty, and his trial began in September of 2010. At his trial, he was convicted of second-degree murder and was sentenced to 15 years to life. Mm-hmm. So that sentence would be served consecutively to the sentence he was already serving for George Allison's murder. An appeal was submitted in which Daniel Malik argued that Alex Barsky's testimony was not sufficiently corroborated to support his conviction. But in 2014, a New York appellate court upheld Daniel's conviction of murder. Mm. And that is the case of the murder of Joey Martin. And then here you have his family that doesn't have any remains to bury. Like, you just...
I mean, so you made it from worse to worse. You killed the boy. Because he owed you money. Allegedly.
Supposedly.
And he stole money and gave him...
And stole
weed.
Según.
And then you... Not only that, you killed him, lied about it, and then you still had the nerve to go back, unbury this poor
boy,
child,
and dump his remains
on a taxi, and roll around New York City throwing out remains of this kid. When this was your best friend, according to you, since you were 4.
And his family were like, obviously they would come to the search parties. They would cry with us at the vigils. Like, dude,
no.
Psychopaths
for sure. Like no.
And that young? Like, you guys are 15.
15. I mean, todavía el otro, well, I mean, we know that he was, they're both ridiculous. Like, that makes, no te cabe en la cabeza. Like, you just don't understand.
Can't wrap your mind around it.
And no matter, and imagine how much money le ha de haber robado.
Según, pues, we don't know.
Los $30 que traía en la wallet. Eso era. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's so stupid. Like, and unnecessary is what I'm trying to say. But anyway, thank you, sister, for bringing that case to us. If you would like to follow us on Instagram, you can at
Cafecito and Crime Pod. And if you would like to download our episodes, leave us a review and/or read us. We would really appreciate it.
We would. Thank you so much. And we'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.